covered well here. Looking for a move on Gaunt, who covers him.
Side by side into the last corner, Barker should be able to get this job done.
And a great start too, just behind Max Twig. He leads the elite. Down the inside on Michael Petruzzi, looking for 4th place. He'll get the move done, and Daniel Gaunt right with them too. Back this weekend by Hollinger Engineering.
Hello, I'm Gavin Townsend, here today with Ben Barker at Silverstone, the home of Formula 1 in the UK today. Nice to see you, Ben. Thank you for this interview. Ben, what are you famous for?
Gavin, I'm the 2010 Australian Formula 3 champion, and also current BRDC superstar, as you can see on the badge here, which the BRDC helped me out. They pretty much own Silverstone. Wow. And which is why we're here today and being allowed on the track.
Now, it's been confirmed that Silverstone is going to be the home for Formula 1 and all various races in the UK for the next 12 years. How does it feel to be based here and be able to train from this fantastic site?
Oh, it's massive, you know, and the BRDC helped me out, which is the British Racing Drivers Club, and they helped me out in many different ways with my personal training, and also with some, you know, some schooling as well, and media training. So they helped me out a lot, and I'm able to use these fantastic facilities, like standing on the track today.
It's amazing out here. It's a big track. How much money have they put into this Silverstone?
Millions.
Stadium?
Millions.
Yeah,
and
hundreds of millions.
Hundreds of millions, yeah. And they're wanting to spend more as well to develop it. So it really is definitely the #1 circuit and you know, and place for motorsport.
And it's a very exciting time for you. You're 21 years of age already. Before the age of 21, you've competed all around the world, and you've already won a really good title. So can you elaborate a bit more about that Australian 2010 title you won?
The Australian 2010 title was probably the closest title that I'll ever fight for. I won it by 1 point on the last lap as well, just to make it more intense. So I was fighting with my teammate for the championship, and it came down to the last lap. I get 1 championship point for the fastest lap of the race. And my engineer said to me, I either make a move, I was in 4th place, I either make a move for 3rd and win the championship, or I hold back and get the fastest lap. So I thought the safest option was probably to hold back, not chuck it away and go for that fastest lap, which I got by 0.05 of a second.
So you're telling me that you won this championship as a result of less than a second?
Pretty much.
Amazing.
On the last lap, and my teammate on the last lap of the race was 0.05 seconds off me, so he almost pinched it, and he was spewing.
So you must have been very good.
I love you, Mitch.
Yeah, sorry, Mitch.
Yeah.
But Ben was the clear champion that day. So everyone calls you BB. So BB, what's your plan really for the next year of your motorsport?
Basically, I'm halfway through a season this year in Porsche Carrera Cup Great Britain, which is a very close one-make championship, and very competitive with an average age of 22. And next year, my big aim is to get into Porsche Super Cup, which is the World Series of Porsche, which will be 2013 race cars. And once you do well in that and you prove yourself in that, then you get invited along to races like, you know, Le Mans, and go to endurance events in America.
And you're inspired to be in Le Mans?
Yeah, in Le Mans, definitely.
And that's a 24-hour race.
It's a one-off event. They do it once a year in France, in Le Mans, of all places. And it
gives it away.
Yeah, exactly. 24-hour race as well, so it's grueling. You get about 4 drivers, and it's huge. You get hundreds of thousands of passionate supporters there. You know,
I guess there's millions of people spectating from all over the world.
Yeah, over TV coverage and everything.
Yeah.
So, but that's one of many events that I want to be part of, and I think by going to Porsche Super Cup next year and maybe make it a 3-year plan, then I can succeed those goals.
But I guess it comes down to, you know, personal skill and a circuit that meets your eye, the way you drive, the way the car is set up on the day. You know, this is a place where the curbs are quite big, lifts the cars up, moves it around, and it definitely meets Ben Barker's eye. He can drive the car, and he's driving the wheels off it right now, continually lapping as the fastest driver on the circuit.
He's made it through turn 8, which has captured many drivers over the last couple of years. Up the hill for the final time into turn 9. A 20-year-old Brett who bases himself here in Sydney has done a beautiful job here. It hasn't like he's led from the front the whole time, Brad. He had to go and get Craig Baird. He had to chase him back down and put a good move on him.
And do it twice.
Yeah. A couple of quarters to go. And Ben Barker will wheel this one off the final turn at turn 13. It's a breakthrough for the Brit. Barker wins at Sydney Olympic Park. Baird is second. And I reckon he's got about 7 fingers now, Brad, on that trophy, but not quite all of them.
He'd be breathing a sigh of relief, I would have thought.
So some more points.
Must be pretty hot in those cars. You can see the boys got the door open, waving to the crowd.
Well, you can't
and
wind
getting
the
a bit of fresh air in them.
You can't wind the window down in these Porsches. They are what they are. But that's a great job from Ben Barker. Picks up 60 points to his championship.
So you currently have one sponsor. Who's that? Who's currently sponsors you?
At the moment, a company called Cars Europe. They're a specialist car transportation company which transport a lot of famous people's cars, like David Beckham's and various other people, and a lot of classic stuff as well. So,
and obviously support yourself.
And support myself, exactly, which is huge. And as you can see here, check their website out. And yeah, they helped me out a lot, and they've got me through to this point. And I'm really working hard with everyone around me to find budget and be in Porsche Super Cup next year and beyond.
So Ben, you're looking for motorsport enthusiasts and possible MDs or company owners who are really passionate about Porsches to look at sponsoring you for next year. It's obviously not a cheap sport, so you're looking for some really good sound extra sponsors. How much do you need to raise to compete really well next year?
The ideal budget, which is going to sound a lot to you, but once you break it down and I explain more, it sort of all sinks in. But it's around about £400,000 pounds. So, and that really goes to the team. It runs the team, pays for my mechanics, pays for tyres, pays for entries, gets the truck there and back, and you know, so it's none of it comes my way.
So it's all for the sport and not for a year off. No,
to go clubbing or anything like that. No, definitely not. So it's an expensive sport, and it costs obviously the team a lot of money, just with tyres, fuel, you know, everything that you can think of around the sport. And Porsche the car, it's quite a prestigious car, so it costs a lot of money in the first place to lease or and to buy. So they're the costs. But what you get back from it is a lot of, you know, hospitality, networking. The list goes on and on and on.
Well, the chance to be here at Silverstone and network and support Ben Barker, that's great in itself. And obviously with all the exposure, I'd imagine there's hundreds of thousands, if not millions, of people watching this.
A huge amount. But it's not all about the advertising. Obviously, you might get the full car. You know, you spend $400,000 on a Porsche, which is the race before Formula One. And compared to putting $400,000 onto a Formula One car, which you'll get a small sticker and not a lot of time, you know. So you really get the whole car with Porsche, and you get all the same hospitality in the Formula One paddock club, which has, you know, some of the top CEOs of huge companies milling around, you know, having a good time, and it's a good chance just to network and get to know these people. So it's very beneficial. So
if you'd like to sponsor Ben Barker at the 2010 Australian F3 champion, please visit his website at
benbarkermotorsport.com,
and you should see that across the bottom right now. So Ben, you're 21 years of age now. At what age did you get involved in motorsport?
At the age of about 9, the early age of 9, I used to go to karting tracks with my mum, of all people. She used to race cars a little bit, so she inspired me. And her brother, her brother's son, my cousin, used to race karts, Tom Rossiter, and you know, I used to go and watch him, and I thought I want to have a go at that. I had a test day, and to be honest, didn't really like it at first. It was quite intense, and you know, you got the walls very close, and there's a high chance of crashing, you know. So
it's more like Dodgems in the early days.
It's more like Dodgems, exactly. So you're trying to avoid everyone, and you get a bit nervous. So I still get nervous, but in a competitive edge. So, but then I fully got into racing karts when I was about 11 years old. So I was fully hooked then. So once I got good, or better, I got more addicted. So and got into it that way, and I reached the age of 16. And it was funny, actually, my neighbour owned a Formula Ford team.
Wow.
So
that's convenient.
And I grew up with his daughter, and so you know, we knew them very well, and I got an opportunity to test, and we signed a deal there and then. It was a good test, and that was my first year in car racing in the British Formula Ford Championship back in 2009. So it wasn't that long ago. So I'm still only in my 4th year of car racing.
And you're still young. You're only 21 years of age, and you've achieved so much. And do you get a lot of support from family, friends, loved ones?
It's huge support. You know, I'm very lucky with having such a supportive family. You know, number one being my mum, who was into motorsport, and then I sort of slowly dragged my dad into it, and now he's loving it. So yeah, I've got a lot of support from family.
And now you're one of 15 BRDC superstars at Silverstone, and not many people can say that they can achieve that, let alone get a world title.
Exactly.
So what exercise do you do? What exercise and diet do you follow?
I exercise quite often. I have a personal trainer in Oxford who I work with, and we do a lot of circuit training, so it's high intensity, and you know, I do some weight stuff. I'm a slim guy and very tall, so I'm lucky. My metabolism is very fast, so I don't need to worry about my weight as much.
Sure.
So I can really get stuck into some muscle stuff, even though I don't really put it on. But so I do a lot of circuit training, some weights, and a lot of biking as well. Biking is good, and rowing is very good for the shoulders.
So you do a combination of cardio and weight training and circuits to keep your core fit, as well as strength fit and cardiovascular fit.
Exactly.
Do you find it quite wearing on the body doing all this motorsport?
It is, yeah. When you're in the race car, particularly a Porsche, you're obviously inside. You've got a roof over your head. It's not like a single seater where you get a nice breeze. So the heat is you know, you can get to you.
And obviously wearing this helmet here.
Wearing this helmet, wearing this race suit. Bearing in mind, I've got another 3 layers under this race suit of Nomex fire gear. So I haven't got it on now, but in a race car I do. It's essential. So, and you get very hot, and your heart rate.
Can you lose a lot of water?
Yeah, you lose a lot.
Quite easily.
In an endurance race, over half an hour, I have a tube where I can drink. In sprint races, I don't use that, just because I don't have time to think about it, because it's so intense. But yeah, you do lose a lot. In Australia last year, where I raced in a Porsche, it was very hot.
And at what sort of speeds?
You're talking about 150 miles an hour, 160, sometimes 180 miles an hour.
So about
180
miles an hour down this straight, but on a bend typically?
On a bend, you're looking at, you know, a bend like this, which is quite a flowing left-hander. You're probably looking at about 100 miles an hour, 110 miles an hour. So it's pretty sturdy around corners, and you've got to push that.
But obviously, underneath that intensity, it's quite physically demanding, but also you're having to be focused as well.
Totally.
Do you find that your mental focus helps your sport as well?
Massively. It's probably more mental than it is physical. You know, when you get a nice base physical training there, nice core, that helps your mindset at the end of a race. If you're leading a race and you know, you've got 2 laps to go, then you can't make a mistake. If you make a mistake, then you could potentially lose the lead. So it's very physically and mentally demanding.
Well, look, Ben, thank you very much for your time today. Again, Gavin Townsend here today with Formula 3 champion in Australia 2010 at the home of Formula 1 in Silverstone here today. Thank you for your time, Ben. If you want to help Ben or follow Ben with his journey, please visit again
benbarkermotorsport.com, and you'll see my Twitter and Facebook. My Twitter is Ben Barker M Sport, and my Facebook is Ben Barker Racing.
Thank you very much for watching.
Thank you.